So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my own experiences based on the question Tayo Aina asked those people he was interviewing in London. So it can all come into one thing, so it can make sense for those who are still contemplating Japa, or for those who think Japa is not for them. So in order for you to learn or get to know more about my experiences based on the question Tayo Aina asked those people as to why Nigerians are leaving Nigeria, do not touch the dial, keep watching. All right. Hi everyone, welcome back again to my channel. My name is Wemimo and I'm also known as Thatmumof5 and also known as TMO5 Kanduko. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back. So like I said in the intro there, that I was watching Tayo Aina. We all know Tayo Aina on the Street of White is a very popular, he's one of the big boys, one of the big boys on YouTube. So I watched a video where he was interviewing people, Nigerians, Africans who are living in United Kingdom, and the question was basically around why Nigerians are leaving to come to the UK. So I'm sure I've done a video similar to something like that before. I'm going to try and link it in the cards here, but why I'm here is to give you my experiences based on the questions that Tayo Aina asked those people. So I've got the questions here, so I'm going to be glancing down and then be answering the questions based on the question he asked with my own experiences, and hopefully I'll be able to share a few tips here and there for you guys. And if at the end of the day you still have any questions you want to ask me, or you don't want to leave it in the comment section, you can DM me. My Instagram handle is on the screen here, and also feel free to drop the comments in the comment section as well. If I have the answer for it, I will answer it. So without wasting much of your time, let's go straight into the question. So question number one. So obviously Tayo Aina did his research, and it was like how many Nigerians leave the country yearly. I don't have any data, but from my head, in the past few months, as you all know, I live in Glasgow in Scotland. In the past few months, I have met nothing short of 20 Nigerians. Yes, let's say in the past 2 months, I have met 20 Nigerians, and they're either coming to study or coming through the carer visa. These are what these people are actually coming in to do. So if I am telling you that I've met 20 Nigerians in a pace of 2 months, you can imagine since I've been here, over the years that I've been here, there are lots of Nigerians who are actually moving out of Nigeria now. And if I find a data or the figure to support the fact of how many Nigerians have actually left Nigeria to come to the UK, I will pop it in the screen somewhere here for you, or somewhere around this video, or maybe in the description box. So yes, lots of Nigerians are actually living Nigeria in troops. Yes, in troops. Yes. So let's move on. And the question is, why are Nigerians leaving? So for me, when me and my husband left Nigeria, we left Nigeria in 2005, and I was heavily pregnant with my second daughter then. So when we left in 2005, I'm sure you and I can attest to the fact that as of 2005, Nigeria was a better country then. Nigeria of 2005 is not what we know of Nigeria to be today. So for me, if I was still to be in Nigeria last month and I was planning to leave Nigeria, the reasons why I'll be leaving Nigeria will be: 1, the lack of security; 2, safety; 3, bad roads, bad infrastructures. Even for the fact that I even have 5 children, assuming if I have 5 children back home in Nigeria, now school fees will kill me. I will not be able to afford the school fees. Obviously I wouldn't have had 5 kids, but with this current life that I have right now with 5 kids, the reasons why I believe in Nigeria will be those things: lack of infrastructure, cost of school fees, lack of security, so many things going on right now. Obviously I know the economy is hard everywhere, but in Nigeria right now, if I were to be in Nigeria, I will find all means to jackpot. So there's so many things, like there's no good healthcare, our policing are not policing, people are suffering, the government does not care about the citizens, the government don't even care if you have a roof over your head. Talk more, they want to check on you if you are alive. So these are the main major reasons why, if I were to be in Nigeria today, I will plan to leave. Okay, so the next question says insecurity in Nigeria. We all know insecurity in Nigeria is one of the things. Like I shared in my previous video with you guys, when I went to Nigeria in 2021, I was on the express to going to Korodu when we suddenly heard starting to hear pow pow. People were robbing, like the cars that have gone ahead of us, they were robbing they were robbing those cars. And I could hear my sister saying to the driver that, turn the car around, and if there's anybody walking anywhere, I'll use the car to clear them. Like, are you saying this man should clear anybody on the road who's also running for their life? So it's insecurity. Insecurity is the major reason while I'll be leaving Nigeria. Yes, insecurity is a big case in Nigeria. You wonder why all these Nigerian celebrities, all these Nollywood people, they go about with all of our Mopo officers everywhere they go. They go to party, they carry Mopo officers. They can afford this, hence why they go about with, Mopo officers. Unlike a standard low-income citizen. How many low-income citizens can afford Mopo to go with them everywhere? So insecurity in Nigeria is a major issue, while definitely people, and someone like me, if I were to leave Nigeria tomorrow, I will be leaving Nigeria. So the next question is living for the sake of family. So for me, as of 2005, when we left Nigeria, our main destination was Highland, Dublin. So we came into the UK, and it was just as we were about to go into Highland, we're told that policies have changed there, which might not benefit me as I was pregnant then. So we decided to kaput, stay in the UK. So yeah, I remember meeting my husband. My husband was like, no, all of my kids are going to live and study abroad. And to God be the glory, it is today. So I would say yes, our trip, our main reason, or one of the reasons why we left Nigeria, was for family as well, for the future of our children, for a better life, for better education, just in a safe environment. So, and I'm super glad that till date, touch wood, we are living safe, and things that we wanted then, that we said to God that God should do for us, God has done it, and even beyond for us. So yes, we did it for family, and I'm sure in the future my children would thank me and my husband for it. So living for health reasons. So for me, before I left Nigeria, I did not have any health reasons. We thank God, even till today, I did not have any health issues. Even when I had a scare in the past few weeks, I thought I had breast cancer, but by the time I went to see my GP, I was seen within a week. I saw my GP on Thursday, I received a letter on Monday, I went to the main clinic on Thursday. There and there they checked, they took samples. I was just a few weeks ago, I get it all clear that no, the sample they took, it was nothing, it was just a cyst that anybody could get. So you can imagine if I were to be in Nigeria. You can imagine if I were to be in Nigeria and I had this, experience I've just shared with you. Do you know what the cost would be to actually go to a private hospital before you get to see, before they can even diagnose with what is going on? So yes, I don't have health reason before I left Nigeria. I did not have any health reason, and even when I had a simple health reason whereby I was having issues with my gallbladder, I was able to get it out here, and I was able to come home the following day, and by day 3, by day 4, I was already driving, even though some people, they'll say 2 weeks. But imagine, I've heard people who actually had gallbladder surgery, even simple cervical cyst removal or something in their womb. I've heard of people who lost their life from even having simple surgical procedure done. So yeah, if you have a health reason, one of the reasons would be for why you should be leaving Nigeria. But for me, I didn't leave Nigeria because of my health, for any health reason. But if I were to be leaving Nigeria tomorrow, that's going to be one of the reasons I will consider in terms of good health care. Will I be able to afford it, and what is the prognosis or the success of any minor surgery I might be having? And I remember when I had my first child in Nigeria, it was a very terrible experience. Maybe in future I will share that story with you, but let's move on. So about questions about the NSAS in 2020. Obviously, I am here in the UK. I was here in the UK in 2020, and thinking back at how the process or how the experience of what happened in Nigeria, there were people campaigning, and if people were protesting, I believe as in Nigeria is a major basic human right. We should be able to campaign if the government is not actually fulfilling all of their promises for us as a citizen. But yes, Nigerians campaigned, they protest, and look at what the government did. In as much as the Nigerian government claimed that nobody lost their lives, but I'm sure I saw an interview where some maybe soldiers were the one, doing that presentation, where they said there was a mass burial somewhere. So where did they get those mass burial? Who are the people that were giving the mass burial? And they said to us that nobody lost their life during the NSAS 2020. So I believe that protesting to say to the government that you are not treating us right is a basic human right. Now, I don't think Nigerian government should have taken that opportunity away from Nigerians, or even maybe arrest people. And I understand that when protests happen here in the abroad as well. I understand when protests happen, some people use the opportunity to go and be robbing people's shops and robbing people's personal belongings. But then the main purpose is that if people are actually happy, they won't be on the street protesting, right? So that's that about NSAS. And yes, lots of people left Nigeria shortly afterwards. And then the question is, Nigerians are everywhere. I've only been in the UK. But yes, there's no corner I turn, I will see Nigeria. It might not be Yoruba, I will see Igbo, I will see Bini, I will see Edo. Like anywhere you turn. Here in Glasgow, the first time I went to Edinburgh, for the first time, because Edinburgh is more like, Edinburgh is the city of Glasgow, right? It's the city of Scotland, right? But it's more like a tourist area. The first time I went there, before I got out of the train, I saw about 5 to 7 black people. So Nigerians are everywhere in the world, which just means to show that we need one another. You can't be by yourself. So Nigerians are everywhere. And then let's move on. Culture shocks in the UK. So for me, the first culture shock would be me seeing people kissing on the streets. Yeah. Yeah, that was the first time that I was like, yeah. And there are many more, like other culture shocks. I know, thank you, please, you know, queuing. You can't just jump the queue to go and do anything. Saying thank you, you know, allowing elderly people go before you. And obviously the mode of outdressing, when you see young children wearing bomb shorts with their bomb cheeks, you know, all of those things hanging out. And then I'm like, this one is new. And then obviously culture shocks again, calling people that are old enough to be your father, calling them by their name. Yeah, by their first name, not Mr., not Sir. No, those were my culture shocks. And over the years, obviously I've been here for a very long time, and even with the culture shocks that I've learned, I don't think I would want my children to adopt any of those shocks. So yeah, that's my culture shock as a Nigerian. And then the next question is getting a job as an immigrant in the UK. So for me, when I came here, I didn't come in with any qualification at all. Yes, I went to high school, I had diploma in law, but upon coming here, I didn't think that I want to go and start working as a lawyer straight away. No, I took my time. Once I got my settlement, once I got my permanent residency in the UK, I went back to school, or I went back to school, started afresh again. And yes, when I got my first job in the UK was a kitchen porter. Yes, so if you are if you are somebody that comes in, maybe you've already studied up to MBA level, or you already studied up to master's level in Nigeria, and you came to the UK and you are looking for a professional job, trust me, you will not get it. Because here in the UK, it's not really about your qualification, it's about your experience, about your exposure to people in a working place. It's about leadership role. So if you don't have that experience, it's going to be a struggle. So if you're saying, because I have PhD, because I have doctorate degree, you're now looking for doctorate positions in the UK. Some people might be lucky, and they might just be lucky that they're able to secure, you know, a leadership role. But most people that I've come across, they've had to kind of like start low. So now, even if with my experiences and all, if I decide to go for a leadership job role, I am more than ready, you know, capable of doing so. Because at the end of the day, in this country, it's more about the experiences. And even while you are working, you are like, oh, I've got an MBA, I've got a master's. You figure out that your boss did not even finish secondary school. Yes, the person who is your manager did not even finish secondary school. But yes, you are here, you have an MSc, you have a PhD holder, and you're having to take a role, you're having to work under that person. Experience is the main thing here in the UK when it comes to jobs. And over time, you can always build your way up. So yeah. And the next question was cost of living in the UK. So obviously, saying in the past 10 years, cost of living has never been an issue here in the UK. But since inflation, drop of dollar, naira messing up, everything has gone up in price. Everything has gone up in price. Just like food is going up, house rent is going up, mortgage is going up, everything is going up. You can imagine, my road tax for my car used to be like £150. In the past 2 years, I've started paying £200 for it. Like, look at that jump. Yes, as of 2021, I was paying £150 for my road tax for my car. Now I'm paying £200. That's a huge. Same thing with insurance as well. You know, I started from paying 60 something pounds for me and my husband. Both of us now we're paying £162. And then I'm like, why is my car insurance like, oh, the age of the car and this that inflation. Yeah, cost of living crisis is everywhere for everybody. So the next question is racism and discrimination. Yeah, I mean, no matter how I want to say how good Nigeria is, and here in the UK, I've had my own few share experiences of racism. Alright, at first, when it first happened to me, I was so upset, you know, I was so mad. And then maybe for me it happened twice, and for my children it happened maybe a couple of times, and then I reported it. And then when it happened to me the first time, I stood up straight to the racist. You know, I was like, you know, I called him out. Obviously he thought I don't speak English and he was cursing me under his breath, and I replied him and said, you know what, I replied him full time. And afterwards, the second one, I think I reported to the police. And over the years, yes, there have been like maybe hidden racism and discrimination, but I don't let it bother me. I don't let it bother me, because I'm just like, they are the ones with the problem. And if at all anybody still feel that, oh, they can come out to me and discriminate against me or act being racist, I have a word for them. Once I use that word is enough to let them decide if they want to keep living this life or they want to keep their mouth shut and never have to discriminate or be a racist to anybody again. Yes, these things happen, but over time, you just let it, you shrug it off your shoulder, because that does not define you, does not define the purpose why you have left Nigeria to come here. So even at that, yes, people are not going to say because of racism that they don't want to come and live in the UK. So people are still leaving Nigeria to come here in troops. Even with all of these things that we know, we often, like for me, I often come here to talk about it, but would that make me and say, I don't want to encourage people to come? No, you can still come, but for me, would that stop me from actually leaving Nigeria to come here? No, it's not going to stop me. Afterwards, racism is not the main purpose why I've come to the UK, right? I have a purpose, I have a goal. So let's move on to the next question. Dealing with the absence of a parent, that's a hard one. I remember the first few years when I just arrived, I would cry, I would miss my parents, and in as much as I still want my dad to come here, I miss my parents a lot. That's why since I've arrived in the UK, I think I went back home in 2021, and that was about maybe 16 years after I've been here. And prior to me going to Nigeria, my mom has been here. When I had my kids, she's been here to visit, and she loved that time here. And yes, she has seen all of my children. The only person I really want, well, maybe not the only person, I want both parents to come again. My dad has not seen any of my children. Where he saw my oldest children, older daughter, when she was a year old before we left Nigeria, and since my oldest is 20 years old now, my dad has not seen her. My dad has not seen my other children as well. So my prayer one day is that both my parents will come together and they'll be able to see all of my kids together. So I miss my parents a lot. Like, I miss my parents a lot, especially my mom's cooking. Kai! You can't miss that woman's food. So I miss them a lot. But obviously over the years, WhatsApp is better now. We call once in a while, and obviously she knows how to use WhatsApp. My dad knows how to use WhatsApp. So from there we communicate often as compared to years ago, when mode of communication was difficult, not for me here in the UK, but for them in Nigeria, whereby they will have to wait to hear from me only when I call, and for them it's not always so easy. So yes, I miss my parents. And then loss of a loved one. So for me, I've actually not lost anyone per se from my family side. It was just a few weeks ago, about 2-3 weeks ago, my husband lost his mom, and yeah, mama was aged. Mama was 92, so that's like a party, right? And then I didn't feel sad as much, because obviously I saw mama in 2021 when I went to visit Nigeria. I saw her, and I felt like for me to have been able to see her, it's not maybe I've not grieved for her, but yes, she's pretty much the only person, like, family based, that I've lost, that I felt like, oh, I've seen them, she's old, she's of a good age, and other stuff like that. But then loss of a loved one here in Scotland brought me to my knees. Yes, it brought me to my knees. I cried. Yes, so that's about that. Okay. And the next question is effects of being away from loved ones, like not being able to see your friends, the people you went to school together with, the people you gallivant, or how do you call it, you go everywhere with. I don't have lots of friends that much, and even with my loved ones, we don't see more often. So because we don't see them often, I don't miss them as much. But obviously the memories of when we were much younger is still there. And being here, yes, I would say I miss them, maybe just a little bit. The reason why I say just a little bit is because even back home in Nigeria, we don't see often, right? So me being here in the abroad, it doesn't make a difference, but it would be lovely to be able to see and meet up with loved ones also. So raising children in the abroad, that's another matter on its own entirely. Like, I was just in church on Sunday the week before last week, and we have this family meeting, and we're like, parents were asked to ask questions, and I was like, no, my children are the age, especially my older ones, they're at the age whereby they're asking that why do they have to come to church with me. So I think the question here is they don't want to come to the church I attend anymore. And obviously my pastor was like, that's why parents have to come to church, and these children I've always taken to church right from where they were much younger, but they are growing older now, and I don't think they want to go to the church I go anymore. They want to go to like happening churches where they sing, they dress as they want. But I attend MFM, and the kind of outfit we wear in MFM, all these young children might not want to. So in a way, raising children once they go out, they'll always do what you advise them not to do anyway. Like they'll still mix with their friends, they'll still go somewhere else. And one thing I've always noticed among my kids is that in as much as we come back home, they know that thing in the house that, you know, mom has always said, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. They can't like adjust straight away once they get back home. But once they're outside, you know, when they're with their peers, you can't really stop them, right? But then I know my children will not go out there and do something nasty, because they know once they come back home, they know the consequences. The consequences is not that because I'm going to be able to give them bad boost, but when you give them correct talking, while you are talking, they will start crying, and then I'm sure they will learn and know adjust them. So raising children in the UK is hard. It's only God that can help. That's where I'm going to leave that. And then the positive side of migrating to the UK, for me, I would say the positive side of it is that, you know, good health is worked for me. Okay, it's worked for me, and I'm not going to complain. And when I say it worked for me, is because when you first came into the UK, the first set of people that you meet will determine how far you're going to go. For me, living in the UK, having left Nigeria, is all worth it for me. You know, all of my kids are here, the ones in uni are there. I'm living the life I want. I've been able to, you know, study here in the UK, first degree, second degree. I am now a nurse. If maybe in a few months time, if I decide I want to further on my career, maybe I want to go for a band 6 or a band 7, I know I can do that. Job wise, I'm doing fine. You know, as the longer you stay abroad, you'll be able to mix with the system. You know how the system works, and then you make it work for you. Okay, I've seen some people who have said, oh, it's hard, they want to go back, they are going back. And I think one of the reasons why people are actually contemplating going back also is the fact that, you know, tax is a lot here. Tax, now I'm dreading that 5.5% increase in the salary, in our nurses salary that the UK are going to give us. You will have thought that they are going to give us that 5.5 increase and backdate it, right? But then they should not tax it. But no, they're still going to tax that money. And that, you know, I'm already thinking in my head that next month the tax I'm going to be paying maybe will be in like maybe 600 or something. But with that being said, will I still encourage people to leave Nigeria? Yes, I will encourage people to leave Nigeria. But the only reason why I would say people should not leave Nigeria is maybe things start to get better. Maybe if Nigeria were to be the Nigeria it was in 2005, but if the Nigeria that we have right now continues for the next 15-20 years or more, if you have the chance to jackpot, please jackpot, no ja. And there are some people who have jackpot that I know of. Some people who have been here for a few years, they've decided to know what, no, we are going back. But for me, Nigeria is a retirement home for me. That's what I'm thinking, right? If Nigeria changes, so if Nigeria changes. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts and opinion in the comment section as to why people actually live in Nigeria. Yes, when you first leave Nigeria, it might be hard, it might be difficult, but once you get here, I'm not going to say it's going to be rosy for the first 2 years. Like I said in my previous video, that the things I've learned since living in the UK, it might actually take you a couple of years for you to actually settle down, you know, have your own place to put your head, you know, be able to be in a job that you enjoy, you know, get yourself settled, know that yes, this is going to be your home. It might take a couple of years, 2-3 years, and afterwards you'll be just fine. Anyway, guys, this is the end of my video. I thought I should just replicate same, you know, just like Tayo Aina was asking those questions, that no, actually resonate with those questions, and I will just bring my own version of it. If you have loved this video and you agree with all of the things I said, or you disagree with them, feel free to drop your comments in the comment section. And also, what advice would you give those who are currently here in the UK and are struggling, who are Nigerians? Let me know in the comment section. And if you're somebody who is also planning to jackpot, but you're unsure, you know, you're sure of what you're going to face and you have questions, leave it in the comment section and I'll be super happy to answer the questions for you. Anyway, guys, this is the end of my video. If you've watched it now and you've not yet subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? So don't forget to like, drop a comment in the comment section, subscribe if you've not yet done so, turn on your post notifications so you don't miss any other video from me, share this video, and I hope to catch up with you in my next one. All right, bye.
You can bank on it. You can put 100 grand on it. Anything I said, I'll stamp on it. In a private plane, I'll lamp on it. Lele oh, then they call me bank on it. Cause I walk around with the bank on it. Show them